Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Q&A. Q&A, I believe this is number 224, with us, the British Fist.
224. Catching!
And 224 is a very special number to us, isn't it, NJ?
Oh, it is indeed.
Yeah, I don't know why, I just feel like it's a special number.
No, it really is special. How could you forget, Dan? How could you forget?
Forget what?
It was 224 Q&As ago when we started this series.
Wasn't it technically 223, because the first Q&A was Q&A 1?
Well, we're on 224 now. Take away 224 was our first
Q&A
one.
0, that would have been.
Yes, that's the
that
one
would have been
where we started the idea.
Enough dilly-dallying. Let's get straight onto this Q&A. If you haven't asked us questions yet and you would like to, comment section down there. That's the only place I look for questions, and now the only place where I look for them and add them to our list. Let's get straight onto the first question by Mariah Careys Lamb. What do you think of WWE having Seth beat Lesnar at SummerSlam, then the Authority turns on Seth after the match and have Reigns come out and cash in on Rollins? I mean, I think a lot of fans would have dug at the time, a Reigns heel turn, especially if he had the Money in the Bank briefcase, which he didn't. That wouldn't have been a bad finish in my opinion, but I mean, you'd have to have Seth Rollins beat Lesnar somehow, and that just wouldn't have been believable in any way.
I think at this moment in time, Reigns' reaction was up and down. People were cheering him, people were not sure how to feel about him. So I think if the WWE, that would have been the perfect time to have turned him heel because the unsurety of what the fans think of him. So I think it would have been a good idea to just stabilise him as a heel, but obviously they wanted to push Seth.
Harvey Dent, what do you think of Samoa Joe's chances of winning the world title now he's with WWE? Zilch. He is going to be nowhere near that WWE world title.
The fact that Kevin Owens has been knocked down a few pegs and Samoa Joe is almost the same build and stylish kind of wrestler, I think unless they treat Samoa Joe differently to Kevin Owens, I think Samoa Joe's going to wait or not get it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be surprised if we even see him on the main roster. Never mind getting a WWE World Championship. It's not going to happen. Too old, too late. It's just not going to happen. Paul Erickson Alejandrino, what are your thoughts on matches that Kevin Owens and John Cena have had? I mean, they've had good matches. Don't get me wrong. But John Cena has won most of them, and that just kind of defeats the object.
The thing about it is that from the first match, they seem to have kept trying to up themselves, either in match type or stipulation, or what they brought to the match. So when it came to the third time they faced each other, you was expecting the best. And because it was becoming more about John Cena overcoming it really affected the feud, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really just about the matches. It's about the story that's being told. And at the end of the day, the story that was being told was John Cena, LOL for the win. It's hashtag that. I mean, that's simply there. What are your thoughts on Ryback winning the IC title? I mean, Ryback hasn't exactly had the best of years. He really got de-pushed after his feud with John Cena. Things just really didn't seem to be working out for him. He was in a tag team with Curtis Axel. I think this was about the right time for him to win a mid-card championship, in my opinion. So I don't have any problems with Ryback winning the IC championship at this moment in time, to be honest.
So I'm really, really uncaring for the Intercontinental Championship. Every time they've given it to someone and they've tried to make it seem important, they've failed. So giving it to Ryback is just like saying, right, we've finished with this guy, it's your turn to hold this. If Ryback was, or if he did something different with it to make it stand out more, like John Cena, he tried to do something with the US, open challenge, having on each show. Ryback's just holding it in a feud with The Miz, Big Show. Nothing really exciting to make me care. So giving it to Ryback is just like passing an object onto someone else.
Like the IC Championship.
Yeah, go with that.
Now that Kevin Owens is on the main roster, Sami, Zayn and Hideo Itami injured, who do you think will be the next face of NXT? Easy. Finn Balor. He was always going to be like the next face of NXT. No, Finn Balor he's the world champion now in NXT. He was always going to be the next face. You could just tell by the way they were pushing him.
Once he loses it though.
Is there anything WWE can do in order to save Cody Rhodes' career? Okay. You don't get many chances of making a guy And the problem with Cody Rhodes is you've tried so many different things with him. You tried the gorgeous one, the maxed one. You tried Stardust. You tried all these things with Cody Rhodes, and no matter what WWE seem to do with him, it just doesn't seem to really. It just doesn't really seem to evolve into a main eventer. And whether or not that's down to WWE's writing or booking or Cody Rhodes himself as a talent, I don't know. But it's got to the point now where, how do they save Cody Rhodes' career when the fans have already just took a look at him now, even though he's in his late 20s, and just said, when is this guy ever going to main event?
I don't like how this question's really asked. It's like, save. How can you save his career? He's getting on TV, he's getting different character, not giving up on him like did Sandow. Cody Rhodes is getting new character, coming back, getting matches, getting somewhat feuds. And now he's Stardust, which is a character that has got mixed reactions. People are not liking, people are liking it. He's on TV as this character. But yes, he's not made to the main event, which was teased a few times. But the fact that he's not been given up on, I think he's doing just fine.
What are your thoughts on Seth Rollins using the Pedigree as his finisher? It looked like they were going to go in the direction of a Seth Rollins Triple H feud, and maybe they still will. I don't really know. So, I don't have any problems with Seth Rollins using the Pedigree as his finisher. They stopped the curb stomp, so they had to give him another finisher that, would be effective for a main event guy, and I suppose the Pedigree is a good one.
With the ongoing TV trying to prove yourself, Seth Rollins, against all these different opponents, Brock Lesnar, Sting, I think they're slowly building up, slowly is the key word, the match between Triple H, who's sick and tired of Seth complaining or Seth overcoming all these odds, where Triple H is going to have to step in, and Triple H is 1 match, 2 matches a year. I guess it's still going to happen. I just think it's going on so long now.
It's done Triple H a lot of favours for 20 years, so could do some Rollins some favours, I suppose. RFV089, Mr. Parkin, if evidence is found to prove that Russia and Qatar bribed FIFA officials in order to vote for them to host the World Cup, should FIFA strip them of hosting the World Cup? Of course! If there's bribing, and even MJ knows this, if there's bribing involved in a process to elect a country to host the World Cup, then they shouldn't be hosting a World Cup, should they?
Breaking laws, disgusting.
Exactly,
actually.
And that's what it is. It is breaking the law. So yes, they should be stripped of them hosting the World Cup.
There should be some kind of penalty to what they're doing.
You just scored a massive own goal there, MJ. Thoughts on Dusty Rhodes passing? I think the worst thing about this was that it just came out of nowhere.
Yep, unexpected.
And it just came at a time where Ultimate Warrior's died, where Roddy Piper's now died, and it just came at a real bad time, really, in my opinion. And it just came out of nowhere. We've just and we just seem to be mourning the losses of so many classic wrestlers right now, and it's just so sad, especially for these people in the wrestling business, especially for Dusty Rhodes' family and the people that have worked with him. He was a massive part of working on NXT. The promos in NXT. So just really, really, really bad. It just seemed to happen just out of nowhere, and I think that was the most devastating thing about it. Just 1 minute he's fine, next minute he's dead.
To add to all that, I think another thing is that yes, it's good that the WWE gave him some involvement on their TV. It's a bit of a shame that they didn't really fulfill his recent returns to the WWE, like do something special with Cody Rhodes and Goldust. He didn't really do anything big or special, which was the slight downfall. But the loss, the surprise, it came out of nowhere, is upsetting. And yeah, the whole not knowing it's coming, apart from maybe Goldust and Stardust knew it behind closed doors, it was just a shocking really sad.
Thoughts on Sheamus winning Money in the Bank?
Surprised.
On the one hand, I am not surprised. On the other hand, I saw no reason for him to win it. I mean, when he returned after WrestleMania, what did he do? He got beat by Dolph Ziggler. He's been feuding with Dolph Ziggler. He's since been feuding with Randy Orton, because you haven't seen that feud a million times before. I wasn't surprised in the sense that WWE always have a hard-on for Sheamus, so him winning Money in the Bank in that sense wasn't a surprise. But, what? I just don't know why they would give Sheamus of all people. And why would they interject Sheamus, of all people, into the Seth Rollins title reign, especially since he was feuding with Brock Lesnar, Sting, potentially other people down the line. Where does Sheamus logically fit into that?
The way I see this is that, yes, at the time, I didn't care for Roman Reigns. I was like, Roman Reigns, it's making it too obvious that you're going to win. At that moment, I thought it was going to be Roman Reigns. So for it to go to Sheamus, surprise factor for me. Sheamus being it, they've only recently started teasing that there could be something coming from him in the championship run or getting the championship. While Seth's holding it, unless Seth turns face sometime and keeping Triple H the heel, I don't really see this match going down too well. So at the minute, I'm waiting to see what the outcome is, but right now, I'm just not liking the idea.
Renegade Man 83. Will the fans ever accept Roman Reigns as either champion or the new face of the company? I mean, probably. I mean, I don't know. What have reactions been like for him lately? Because I really haven't watched Raw or pay-per-views. Are they still mixed? Are they mostly positive now? You know, I don't really know. I mean, it all depends on the WWE's booking of him. I mean, let's not make this guy out as if he's the special one, as if he is the chosen one. That's the point. That's the problem now. We get all these news websites like, you know, your NoDQ.com, and it's all fine and good, you know, having these sites and knowing more about the business. But we all know from these websites, you know, more people than you think, that Roman Reigns has been handpicked by Vince McMahon to be the next face of the company, or Triple H or whoever. So that's immediately going to turn fans on him. This is the problem in this social media age. It really isn't. You know, and WWE need to try and move with the times and try and do something to, you know, stop that from happening. They really do.
With Roman Reigns, I think the fact that it feels like he's being held back because now he's in a tag team against the White Family.
They needed to do that, in my opinion. I think the reaction he was getting going into WrestleMania, they had to hold him back at some point.
Well, we're saying it's needed, but at the same time, with this question about taking him as the new face and that, it's being held back. So this thought process is not even into my mind right now. I just think he's waiting for another Rumble. He's waiting for another Money in the Bank shot. Right now, I just think he's not going to be that guy yet, which is a good thing because I think the reaction that Reigns was getting was a bit questionable. But at the same time, Roman Reigns was getting such a high push, only for it to be pushed back.
Yeah, and I mean, I hope fans warm to Roman Reigns because, you know, I mean, I wasn't necessarily a massive advocate of Roman Reigns, but, you know, I know his promos at the time weren't that great, and that was quite obvious to see that he needed to work on them. But, you know, the match he worked with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, I was quite into. I quite enjoyed the way they did all that, and I was into Roman Reigns at that point. I really was. I actually wanted him to go on and win the bloody belt, believe it or not. So I really do hope that fans do warm up to him at some point because, you know, fans have been crying out. Oh, we want new stars. We want new stars. Well, guess what? Roman Reigns is a new star.
So is Kevin Owens.
And then you still fucking moan. You know, I'm just saying.
Well, the thing is, I'm one of the fans that I don't care if Roman Reigns doesn't fully succeed to a point where everyone loves him. Because to be honest, I think if they wanted us to do that, they should have known what they were going to really do with him following the break of the Shield. But since the break of the Shield, he's gone all over the option. And I think he needs a solid career path, not just throwing everywhere.
If Derek Bateman ever returns to the WWE and uses the EC3 gimmick, will he have any success as a champion? No, because WWE wouldn't want to take a TNA gimmick and make it into a success. Bottom line.
Hence Buddy Ray going to Bubba Ray again.
Exactly. Hence Xavier Woods, you know, who was previously, I think he was Consequences Creed in TNA. You know, that's why he's Xavier Woods in NXT. You know, I mean, the possible exception was Christian, but he was kind of a special talent in that sense. So, no, not as an EC3 gimmick anyway. They're not going to take a gimmick that was made in TNA and take success of it in WWE because they can't attribute themselves to the making of it. So they're just not going to do it.
Samoa Joe, they kept Samoa Joe.
Yeah, but he's not in the main roster at the moment.
Not yet.
And you know, you can do that on NXT. You can't really do that on. They wouldn't do that on the main roster. No. Do you see Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 32? No, I do not. You know, Sami Zayn's just coming back from an injury right now. I think he'll go back to NXT. I don't think he's got the momentum as of yet. We don't know when he's coming back from the injury. And I think Kevin Owens really should be in a bigger match than against Sami Zayn at WrestleMania 32. I don't think Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 32 should be in a point where he's trying to put over someone else. I think Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 32 should be in a position where someone is putting him over. I think that's the way it should be for Kevin Owens, not like this.
Zayn, I don't think he's going to have to start over, but I do think NXT is going to be the safe spot, even though he had a debut on Raw. Kevin Owens, yes, I do think by Mania, he should be out of this Cesaro-ish, whatever he's getting involved with, and actually in a feud that's worthy of a guy who wants to beat John Cena at WrestleMania.
Thoughts on Luke Harper and Eric Rowan using the 3D finisher? I mean, if they were going to build to a feud with the Dudley Boyz, then that makes sense. I think the original plans were for them to feud with the Dudley Boyz until Eric Rowan got injured, and this is why now the Dudley Boyz have returned at this time and are now feuding, in the tag team division against the New Day and Primetime players. So that was the plan, and if that, and they were doing it correctly, using the 3D finisher and mocking the Dudley Boyz. I thought that was a good way of drawing heat in a way. But his plans just didn't work out. It's a shame, really, because that could have been a good feud.
Okay, I'm going to alter the question just a little bit. They were having the Ascension mocking old wrestlers, so I would have possibly have used the Ascension and had them possibly build themselves up ready for the Dudleys. But it happened to the Wyatt family members, and that would have been good because the Wyatt family members need something that's going to keep them or kept them looking ready and together, but that didn't happen. So bring the Dudleys back for the sake of the tag division is better than nothing.
Paul Erickson Alejandrino finishes off this Q&A. Now that Tyson Kidd will possibly be out of action for a month or a year, what should WWE do with Cesaro now? Push him. I don't really know why. I don't really know why we have to question this. Like, why doesn't WWE go there with Cesaro, at least with a championship or with a decent push? Let's see what this guy can fucking do. Let's give this guy a chance, please.
He's one of the guys who keep getting teased, looking good against these main eventers, and then he gets pushed into a nowhere tag team or nowhere, at least feuds. So I think now Tyson Kidd's sadly injured and going to be away for up to a year. I think Cesaro needs proper singles build instead of being pushed to the limit. So right now, I'm accepting the fact that he's at least on TV and he's speaking up to guys like Kevin Owens, who was a former winner over Cena. So at the moment, if this continues to lead somewhere, this is working.
Do you think Sheamus winning Money in the Bank was best for business?
No.
I don't know about best for business, but I know for a fact that they wanted... I think what WWE wanted to do is they didn't want to leave Sheamus, who is one of their more coveted stars, in my opinion. They didn't want to leave him with nothing to do. I mean, they were feuding with Ziggler at the time. Who cares? They were feuding with Orton at the time. Who really cares? I think they just wanted to give him something to keep him somewhat relevant, so they decided to give him Money in the Bank. I don't think it's necessarily best for business, but it's a guy which WWE obviously wants to do something with and develop, and obviously trusts in such a manner where they can just put the Money in the Bank on him and let him run with it.
The thing I see about Sheamus is, like I said earlier, as long as the outcome is something different. Like if let's say Cena's the champion at the time, Cena versus Sheamus, nothing special there. If it's Orton the champ, nothing different there. If he's going to face Seth Rollins, if he's going to face Sting, if he goes Brock Lesnar, then yes, you may not have much faith in Sheamus for the booking that's happening now, but at least it's something different and it's a feud that's going to be different and possibly better for Sheamus and his opponent.
If WWE didn't change Adam Rose's gimmick as Leo Kruger, I think I understand the question. Would he have been more over on the main roster?
That's Kruger, okay.
Yeah, I don't think... I think I may have misread your question there, Paul. I apologise for that, but I guess the gist is, would the Leo Kruger gimmick have been more over on the main roster? I don't know about that, because Leo Kruger's gimmick from NXT was solid, but it was nothing standout. At least Adam Rose's gimmick was something that stood out from the crowd. Leo Kruger's gimmick was just kind of meh and just kind of there. I don't think it would have got anywhere near as over as the Adam Rose gimmick did, even for that short period of time.
As much as the story was Kruger being involved with the Wyatt family, that I'm not even sure if that would have saved him, because I don't think, from what I saw of Kruger, he weren't really the best kind of character, and to put him in the Wyatt family could have brought stuff out of him, but possibly not enough to have got us our interest, I don't think.
Oh, this next question. With the storyline in WWE right now in the Divas division that no one wants to help Paige to take down the Bella Twins, this was asked before the Divas were ever fucking Lucian. Do you think it would be a good idea to bring Charlotte, Bayley, Becky Lynch, and Sasha Banks into the main roster and create a 4 horsewoman faction to help Paige out?
Oh no, terrible.
Oh, what a great... Who the fuck's idea was it to bring all these women in 3 different fucking factions? I've never understood that. Oh, yeah, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Sasha Banks are on the main roster. It's the Divas Revolution. Yeah, only there's still no storylines. They still don't get that much time in the ring. There's still, it just... I don't really want to go on about the Divas Revolution because it is one of the worst revolutions I've ever fucking seen in my life.
Well, all I'm going to say, you brought a bunch of divas in, so it fulfilled the Divas division whenever they do break up these 3 team tag teams.
But why not just bring one in? Why don't you just bring Charlotte in? Focus on Charlotte. Why do they have to focus on all of them? Focus on the one.
A part of me doesn't want to do the one thing, because we brought AJ and she got pushed to the top quickly. We brought in Paige, she got pushed to the top quickly.
Yeah, but...
You brought in Ric Flair's daughter, she would have got pushed to the top quickly. So I think with the fact you've got a group of them, they're all going to get individual storylines eventually. The one that's going to get the push first, as we just stated, is going to be Ric Flair's daughter, and then all the others will come during that time in a feud.
Bringing them all in together, how is that better than bringing them in one by one?
I've never liked one-on-one, not with the recent...
I understand that, but not necessarily bring Charlotte in and have her win the title straight away, but build her up to it over 6 months or something. I don't know. But bringing them all in together, I don't know whose brainchild idea that was. Oh yeah, let's have multiple tag team matches. Yeah, let's try and make people forget that Nikki Bella is going to be, the longest reigning Divas fucking champion of all time over AJ Lee.
Well, she would have been by now.
Well, probably, we'll see. But yeah, let's do that. Let's just try and make people forget about that.
As much as I don't like the tag team matches, it all, in my eyes, when the tag team's 3-team thing breaks down, I'm looking forward to the different kind of diva matches we could be getting instead of just concentrating on the one diva. That's what I'm going to say.
I mean, isn't the whole point of Revolution to bring change? What's changed about the Divas division?
Different singles matches.
They still don't get storylines. Bottom line, they still don't get really that much mic time. There's still no real development of characters. But the bottom line is that there's no reason to care. I mean, they have great matches. Oh boy, I wonder how many casual fans are going to give a shit about that. I'm just saying. Do you think Eva Marie working in NXT will improve her in-ring skills?
No.
If she's training with Brian Kendrick, then hopefully... No, let's not underestimate Eva Marie here. No. Don't just shake your head, MJ. Look, if she's working hard, we saw it with someone like Brooke Teschmacher. She was terrible at one point, and then she trained for a little bit and got a lot better. Eva Marie isn't, she's never going to be the best wrestler in the world, but at least you can do is have a go at it. And apparently Brian Kendrick and I believe Sarah Del Rey are training her a little bit. And eventually, I think they want to get to a point where they want to put the NXT Women's Championship on her. And if she does work hard, if she does improve her in-ring skills, then that's fair enough. I mean, she's already got the character there, really, and people already hate her. So she's already got that going for her. I mean, if she trains with Brian Kendrick and Sarah Del Rey, who has trained Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and Paige, and people like that, by the way, just saying, then hopefully she can improve her in-ring skills, and then she can become some kind of talent.
Right now, I'm looking at Eva Marie, and I've never really cared so much. And taking the words from Sarah Del Rey, I'm looking forward to seeing what she could bring. And eventually, I still don't think when she's had all her training, she's going to be anything huge.
No,
but
not
at
from a
least
wrestling
it'll be another active diva.
No, she won't be outstanding. She won't be like a Paige or anything like that from an AJ Lee from a wrestling standpoint. But at least she will be somewhat competent in the ring, is what I'm saying.
Better.
At least, which is a lot better than what she was, let's say, a year ago when she couldn't do any fucking thing. She couldn't even sell in the ring. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, that's been another Q&A from us, the British Fist.
What a depressing finish. Ka-ching.
That's pretty much how all WWE matches end now anyway. So yeah, keep putting your questions in the comment section below, and we will see you later.
And people, thank you very much for watching. This has been a Q&A where we've answered your questions, tried to throw in a few laughs and opinions. Please continue sending your questions, and from Mr. Parkin and me and Jay, the British Fist Boys, goodbye.